And as a result, he is a Wang Ta, I guess you would say. He's an outcast. Holden is pretty good to Ackerley, despite the fact that Ackerley is unbearable. He is unbearable. Then, Holden's not roommate, but guy who lives in the next room is Stradlater. I think James Stradlater. Stradlater is a jock, J-O-C-K, or athlete. Good American slang, even in 1950. And he's also very good with the ladies. He likes to seduce girls. Holden finds out in a casual conversation that Stradlater has a blind date tonight with Jane Gallagher. Oh, well, it almost kills him. It almost kills Holden. Why? Okay. Holden knows Jane Gallagher well. And I think in a real sense Holden loves her. Innocently, and she loves him too, innocently. Because what happened was this. They had met at the summer. The families had some cabins, houses by some lake. This is common in northern New Jersey and Manhattan, where I'm from. And my friends had lake homes by lakes scattered around New Jersey. And I spent time, really quite a lot of time, up in places like that too. Anyway, so they had met, and they were perfect friends. Innocent, innocent, innocent. But Holden had slowly realized that Jane was a wounded girl. Mom was divorced and had a man, a kind of lover, I guess. Maybe she had remarried, I don't know. Stepfather or 45-year-old man who clearly had been pursuing Jane. And Jane had been having a hard time eluding this disgusting man. And it hurt her. And Holden gradually realized what kind of man this was and what kind of pressure was on her and how depressed she was by this. They used to go to the movies and hold hands. This is not sexual holding hands. In a sense, what is it? Just decent human warmth, I guess. It's a little hard. It's a little hard to define. And Salinger is so good at this. So good at finding... Wow. I guess I've never told the story. I haven't talked about this. Okay. Salinger is so good at finding those emotional situations that, in a sense, defy description. Defy description. Or are so deep that one could, I think I could analyze it, but it would take some time. Powerful. Salinger is very good at that. And there are several things in the book, including the very climax. Boy, that's going to be hard. This is going to be hard. Okay, let's change. But Holden is furious and disgusted, and it upsets him so to think of Jane in the coach's car, because the coach is going to lend his car to Stradlater. Stradlater getting Jane in the back seat of that car just about drives Holden crazy. And if it doesn't disturb us, it should. No, it'll disturb anybody. I shouldn't say that. Anybody will be a little disturbed by that. But Stradlater, boy. So, Ackerley and Stradlater, people around Holden. Wow. And Holden's good. Holden even gets into a fight with Stradlater, but Stradlater is much stronger, and Stradlater forces him to give up. Stradlater is gentle to him, really. But Holden has been good to Stradlater because Holden has written papers for him. I better pick this up. I can talk about this book for a long time. Okay. So Holden leaves and goes to New York City. But his plan is, his family isn't expecting him until Monday. He's going to spend the weekend. He's got some dough, as he always says, money, D-O-U-G-H. He's got some money. Money is not much of a problem. He's going to spend the weekend in New York by himself before going home on Monday. And he's going to hope that the family doesn't find out, parents don't find out that he has flunked out of another school. Poor parents, is it their fault? Maybe a little. But they're just, I think, typical parents, actually, who don't understand him, or maybe aren't quite willing to understand him. And Lord knows. Lord knows. Okay. He checks into a hotel. He's so tall that he's often taken to be of age, and he can get drinks at bars, for example, because of his height. Checks into a hotel. It's a 1950s style hotel with a ballroom downstairs and music, a pianist, and maybe even a small band, and people there drinking and wanting to dance. He's a good dancer. He asked one woman to dance and danced with her and sat with them. Their level of ignorance, Salinger is very good at capturing the common man's ignorance. And some will say a little snobbish. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's the same on TV too. We've got some American idiocy. We've got the level of popular culture, after all, in America is so abysmal, is so low. The level of intellect, generally in America, is so low. Sorry. Maybe it's low in Korea too, but I doubt it. Not that low. And it's satirized, and it should be satirized. I mean, it's horrible. But now the place where people will differ is Rockefeller Center, famous place in New York City, and the Rockefeller Theater. No, ROK Theater? I don't remember. I saw it myself. The Rockettes. These women, maybe 50 of them, who dance in a row, and the high point of the show is their kicking, and they all kick to the same height. And the crowd marvels at this, and Holden tells lots of little incidents like this. Some man sitting behind Holden, this was 2, 3, 4 years ago. Boy, that's precision. Well, Salinger is saying that the man is an idiot. Many Americans will say, wait a minute, that's not fair. Maybe it's not fair, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. And Salinger says it. And I'll stand with Salinger. And with Holden. And Holden says it. He's an extraordinary kid. He's been around. That is, he has a lot of experience. Not sexual experience. In fact, he's still a virgin. And he's innocent. So the key is he's innocent, but kind of eager for experience, like all 16-year-olds. A little bit worldly because his eyes are open, but a little bit innocent. He's that mixture. I don't want to go too far. Okay. I better pick up the pace here. Maurice, the elevator guy, says, hey, want some action? Want a girl? Holden says, yeah, maybe. So I'll send her to your room. Room number 1050. Okay. So Holden goes in there, probably sprays his mouth and puts some deodorant on or something, you know. In comes the girl, whose name is Lucy, I think, or Lucille. And she is low American culture. Now, one can sympathize with her, but there she is. Maurice is her pimp, which means her muscle, which means if there are any problems, the client, Holden, is going to have to face him. So here's Holden in this sexual encounter. But Holden is much more interested in knowing why she became a prostitute, getting to know her a little bit, not just throw off his clothes and hop into the rack, into the hay, into bed with her. And he's a client. Come on, Jack, give me my $10 or whatever. Let's get this over with and let me out of here. But it never happens. And Holden finally says, "I'm sorry." Then Maurice, some argument, she leaves, Maurice comes, "Pay up, Jack, you owe us $10. "I didn't do anything, I don't owe you anything." Hits him, knocks Holden down, and takes the $10 out of Holden's wallet, which is lying there. In modern times, he would have taken much more than that. One point in my telling you this is, well, it tells a lot about Holden, but this weekend is a very rough weekend for Holden. He's going to be knocked around. He's going to sleep very little. He's going to eat very little and nothing nutritional. He's going to drink quite a lot. He's going to smoke quite a lot. It's cold. It's December. He's going to be outside much too much and cold. All this is important to understanding what happens in the book. Now I have to pick up the pace here. Stratford, Ackerley. He goes downtown to Greenwich Village, basically. I relate to this book a lot because a lot of this experience is kind of my experience, and it was happening within the 10 years after this book. I didn't even read the book till I was 40, I'm sure, until I taught it in college. I haven't read too many things until I've had to read them to teach them in college, especially, which was great. To have to read something and have to tell people about it means you read it. It's the best way. So, goes down, slips into one of these clubs in Greenwich Village where mostly struggling artists are, and he goes to see Ernie, the piano player. Now Ernie, Holden knows, Ernie is a great jazz pianist. But when the crowd is big, Ernie plays to the crowd, and so he does stupid tricks, shows off. And Holden, as I say, is an expert on detecting showing off phoniness. Now, some will say, wait a minute, what gives Holden the right to be a judge of these things? Sorry, Holden knows. Holden knows. Why? Because he's studied this, and he knows when Ernie is playing intensely and seriously, and he knows when Ernie is showing off, playing for the crowd. And the crowd is ignorant and blah, 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 blah. He has other encounters, one. On the train, on the train going into New York City, does he meet her? He meets Mrs. Murrow, I think is her name. Now, oh God. Who's that guy? I don't remember his name. Okay, Mrs. Murrow. Her son is a phony. And her son used to... there's a hint of homosexuality twice in the book. But her son is a phony and an ass. But she is a kind, gentle person. And so Holden sits with her, as I remember. And she asks about her son. And Holden lies and says what a kind boy he is. And tells one story, which is the truth, which shows the boy at his best.